here at Rethink, and we're getting kicked off here at the Hilton. Super excited. I was at South by Southwest. I had a pre-commerce summit last week, and we're on all the right issues. There's never been a better time to be in insights and analytics. There's never been a harder time. There's never been a time to have greater impact. We had 220 papers submitted. We're going to hear things that are going to help us all change the world.
Well, first I'm drawn to cross-platform measurement, and we think about cross-platform measurement. I usually think of it in terms of digital and TV, right, multi-screen. And I just wrote a column about this in a media post where I talked about mobile measurement as kind of like the golden spike, where TV measurement and digital measurement are going to come together because both platforms are looking to make sure that they can include mobile engagement in the measurement. I think what we are going to be working on, and what I frankly expect to spend this next 6 months working on, is holistic measurement solutions that bring TV and digital measurement together. I think it's going to be around the nexus of mobile measurement.
So the question is, what would I do for the next 6 months? Well, I already have a project for the next 6 months. It's a very exciting project, and it's looking at targeting. So it's looking at, and you think, oh, we already know don't we already know about targeting? It's important. But actually, I don't think we do. Everything we learned about targeting came from mass media, where if you got it wrong, you still got a lot of people. You couldn't get it too wrong. But now that we can precision target, it really matters. And you combine that with the kinds of precision targeting we're seeing, and I think advertisers and their agencies don't have enough insight and information to make good decisions. So we're working with an advertiser and an agency together as a team to come up with what can we look at in our data that gives you the insights you need to make a good decision here. So we're looking at segmenting consumers by how they buy, and what kinds of products they buy in a category, sort of market segmentation. Looking at what's your goal as a marketing plan, and what kind of ROI could you expect from different kinds of consumers. And so I'm very excited about that.
In the next 6 months, we should be concentrating on driving outcomes, which is something we heard at the keynote address just now from Unilever. And driving outcomes means sales. It means we have to see the proof that sales went up. It means we have to be able to know why it went up so we can reproduce the effect. We have to understand the creative in more detail. We need to multi-dimensionalize our analysis of creative. It can't just be got a high sales effect, got a low sales effect. You've got to know why it did that. It's 65 to 70% of the total sales effect of advertising is the creative. And we haven't had any granularization of our analytics for creative. It's time to do that.
If I had to do one thing over the next 6 months, it's to look at the interaction between television and mobile. Mobile and TV are known to work very strongly together. We see lots of case studies. We've seen them here at this summit meeting, how they work very strongly together in terms of the synergy. But I want to know why, and so it's understanding the why that could be very important. I'd principally like to do that through neuroscience, so that we can understand, for example, what parts of a TV ad also work on a mobile ad, and also things like, does the soundtrack in mobile work as well as it does on TV, or does it in fact work better? And I think that could be an enormous area for understanding to help advertising effectiveness.
Of course, I want to continue working at RentTrack, and I am going to be continuing working at RentTrack. It's a really exciting place to be. We're doing a lot of things. One of the most exciting things that we're just about to release is the RentTrack analytic platform, which will have respondent-level data in it. It will be 500,000 homes in the beginning, going up to 2 million. It's going to be very exciting, the type of analyses that you can do directly on this huge data set. Providing stability, granularity, and real insight. So it's something exciting to be involved in.
What's
Sim's going to focus on in the next 6 months is essentially what we've been focusing on for the last few years, which is finalizing our cross-platform measurement service that we've been working on with ComScore called Project Blueprint, and it's essentially measuring unduplicated reach across television, radio, smartphones, tablets, and computers across 3 media: video, audio, and text. So we'll be finalizing that up and then sharing the results with the industry.
So every year about this time I begin preparing for my class in audience measurement at the summer at NYU, and every year I have to throw away about 5 or 10% of the material because it's outdated. This year I'm going to have to throw away about 30% of the material because it's all outdated, and I just have a lot of catch-up work on basically every fundamental topic. Programmatic buying is certainly one of them, but each and every one, each and every channel, it's an exciting and hectic time.
I think from a Rentrack point of view, it's working with the industry so that there's more transparency in how we create very accurate audience databases from very large data sets, so it's projectable and usable in today's TV environment.
One of the biggest things coming up is to understand better cross-media measurement, how to get the data, how to understand duplication, how to really know what's driving what medium and to what platform, and how does this all come together.
I think it would be data integration. I see more and more of our clients are looking inwards towards their own data sets and trying to figure out how to integrate that with the other market research information that they're collecting. And unfortunately, there's no real elegant way of doing that right now, but I think companies need to figure out how to do this on their own and not rely so much on outside research firms and syndicated companies to do that.
Well, will concentrate on what I've been concentrating on for quite a while now, which is really making cross-media measurement a reality in the marketplace today.
Quality and research.
That's what you would focus on?
That's what I would do for the next 6 months, definitely.
The OTT marketplace, the SVOD marketplace, is obviously incredibly vibrant and interesting right now and has the potential to be extremely disruptive. We've already seen that with the likes of Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and more and more coming through all the time. I think one of the things that makes that particularly compelling and important as an area for future discovery is the number of ramifications that it has across the business, both for companies thinking about bringing an offering to the marketplace or those who are already committed. They need to understand how to optimize a path, how to package up the programming, what the pricing needs to be, what kind of forecast they need to make for sales, and also, if they're already in the broadcast marketplace, they need to understand what that might do to their legacy business. If they're a cable player, for example, what might that do to cable subscriptions? Is it going to be a net gain, a net loss, or is it going to even out? People who decide not to get engaged, what is the impact going to be on their business? So all across the board, including, I would say, advertisers, if we see a continuation of what we've seen over the last year, 18 months in terms of viewing figures on cable and broadcast, advertisers are already starting to think about how that's going to impact the way in which they use TV to reach mass audiences. And some of the very advanced thinkers are already thinking about how they may manifest their presence within the SVOD space to take advantage of that. And that's probably not going to be 30-second spots. So there's any number of creative ways in which a brand could play a role in the experience of an individual as they access content, whether that's kind of a PBS underwriting model or something more creative that we're less familiar with. All of that has to be worked out if we're going to understand what the total universe of revenue opportunities are going to be and what the potential impact is going to be on the existing way in which video is provided and consumed. Because one thing's for sure is there's no way it's all going to be free, otherwise the whole world of video production and distribution disappears. There's no such thing as free TV.